Welcome back to Mass Appeal. Now we're going to show you how to make an easy holiday dessert. We're going to do it with a gentleman whose hand was just right here. That gentleman's John Slattery from 4 Main Street in Huntington. What's happening?
Oh, another exciting day on the planet, getting ready for the holidays. Thought we would put together a couple of things that you can be standalones or to come together as a trifle. So one of the first things we're going to make is an easy fat-free mousse.
Cool.
Okay.
Fat-free?
Fat-free, and we're going to make a peppermint mousse. So I've got a candy cane here, and we're going to make the noise early, and I put it in a little baggie, and we're going to smash up the candy cane.
That baggie trick is very smart.
So now we've got our candy cane ready to go.
Sometimes that's how I pound my chicken if I want to get it thinner, but it ends up having, salmonella juice everywhere.
Oh, we don't want that.
We don't want that.
We're also going to make a bourbon brown sugar sauce. So I've got in this pot here on the stove melted butter and brown sugar coming together. And we're going to use that to moisten the layers of the angel food cake in the trifle.
Now you said bourbon. Does that come into play later?
We're going to make a bourbon brown sugar sauce, and we're going to use that to moisten the cake in the layers of the trifle.
Very cool.
So one of the main moussey ingredient we're going to use is going to be fat-free, which is really cool. So I've got a fat-free vanilla yogurt.
Oh, so it's a yogurt mousse.
This mousse, yeah, it's kind of a cheating mousse. There's no egg whites or any of that other stuff in it. But we're gonna put in.
Don't sell yourself short, John.
We're gonna fold in some fat-free whipped topping.
Oh.
The kind you get in the freezer section.
Yeah. You can make it yourself, but let's get in the freezer.
Well, you can't make fat-free whipped topping yourself.
Oh, okay. How do you?
It's
I don't.
So it's a stuff.
Who's to know?
So now we've got those, and we're folding those together. And then to add a little stiffness to that, I've got some fat-free marshmallow fluff.
Oh, it's very hard marshmallow fluff too, seemingly.
It was chilly where it came from.
That's your ideally, especially when you're cooking this kind of thing, everything will come to about room temperature, so it's easy to stir together.
The other ingredients are going to need to stay cold, but this one needs to be soft enough to fold in together. And on the stove here, the butter and the brown sugar are coming together.
If you needed to, I wonder if you could microwave that marshmallow topping for a second or two.
Just a few, yes.
Yeah.
We did that to start with, but then it hardened back up. So we're just going to fold these together.
Okay.
And then add in our peppermint stick cracks. And
This is one of your favorite holiday desserts. What do you like making around this time of year?
I like making trifles because it's fun. You can put a lot of different ingredients in it. This fat-free version is nice for those that are really trying to watch out with the other things that they're eating over the course of the holiday season.
And I feel better about myself if I have one item that's fat-free. I can say, well, I ate the fat-free trifle, so it's okay that I did terrible things.
Exactly. And when we're done, when we come back later and put the trifle together, it's going to be this rich, creamy, luscious dessert.
Okay.
All right. So that's the beginning of that mousse.
Okay.
And here on the brown sugar and the butter have come together and cooked, and we're just going to add in a little bit of a nice bourbon.
So we want to add the bourbon in the later stages.
Yeah. Once they've come together, this is going to cool it down. And it's also going to, if we had real fire, it would blow up. So if you're doing this on a gas stove, you would end up with a little flambe situation right now.
Oh, so it could be your dinner and a show.
Yes, dinner and a show.
And I was going to say, if some of that bourbon goes on there, we might actually have a fire yet.
Yeah, we don't have a fire in a TV studio.
Stay tuned.
So now they've come together, and that's come together, and we're just going to add a little bit of the fat-free whipped topping to that. And
very cool.
Instead of using heavy cream. And that'll cool down, and we're going to have this nice caramel sauce. And then the last thing we're going to make is a little bit of frosting. And
okay.
The frosting bowl went over here.
Frosting bowl's that away?
In the fridge.
I hope everyone else's holiday is going really well.
Keeping it nice and cool.
Oh, good idea.
And mix it.
So how do we make our very own frosting?
And this frosting is going to have the powdered sugar.
Okay.
And a little bit more of the yogurt, sticking with all those fat-free ingredients.
This is great.
Instead of using the butter
and
or
it's inexpensive too, because you're not buying a ton of different ingredients. You're kind of having the same ingredients throughout.
Yeah. And then for this, we're going to actually add a little bit of red, a little red food dye. So this will give us some different color layers in the trifle. And we'll put a couple of drips into that.
Is there a general rule of food dye? Because I tend to go overboard.
For a small amount, to get a solid red color, we're going to use about 6 or 7 drops.
Because it's really potent. You don't.
But there are other kinds out there, like the natural kinds, that are you need to use a little bit more because they're not as strong as the red 40 or whatever it is that we use today. And so we're going to whip that up into a nice little frosting. And then later on, when we come back in the show, I'll have all these ingredients, and we're going to chop up some of the cookies from our party last night. We made some spice cookies at the restaurant, and we're going to chop those up, and we're going to put it all together, and we'll make a nice trifle when we come back.
Very cool. All right, well, we'll let you get to it. You have a whole lot to do. We're going to check back in with John a little bit later in the show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.